Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicola and today we are gonna do a practice ideal for those of you who suffer from PCOS. So PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, is a condition where the follicles are growing and there are more follicles growing at the same time and they are trying to mature at the same time. Therefore it is hard for the body to ovulate, so then there are more peaks before really the ovulation occurs. Therefore you probably have a longer cycle than usual. It can be 40 days, 50 days, 60 days, because it takes longer for the body to get to the ovulation. So you can be ovulating on day 25, day 30, 35 or even later. So it's not the classic textbook 14-day as we are taught, even though really minimum woman, it is said 13% of women actually do ovulate on day 14, so it's quite a huge myth. So what we are trying to do here in this class is to reduce stress, because stress has a huge impact on our hormones. So we are trying to get the hormones more in balance. And often there is an estrogen dominance with PCOS, and also testosterone is higher than it should be. So really, by lowering the stress and calming the nervous system, we can help to support our hormones further. We also want to promote healthy circulation in the body, especially in the lower body, because that is also what affects the PCOS, and we want to promote a healthy ovulation, so hopefully the ovulation would be coming earlier for you in the cycle. There are also sometimes anovulatory cycles at all completely, so then the ovulation doesn't occur, and then in the end of the cycle there is bleeding, but it's not really a menstruation. It's just the body is getting rid of the endometrium that just due to high estrogen has grown too much and the body needs to get rid of it. So that's also possible, and we want to make the body ovulate more frequently and in a healthier way. Please do have 2 blocks at hand. If you don't have any, couch cushions, bed pillows, even books might serve you well as well. So, and we will just start on our knees in an easy child's pose. So you can sit on your heels, the knees are about hip width distance apart, and you can fall down with your forehead on the mat and resting your elbows on the knees. Very calming and nourishing pose for our hormones. It can be also really frustrating to get this diagnosis, because at first you are not really sure what to do with it. And often the doctors don't know either, or they are not really helpful when it comes to managing PCOS. Another way of getting rid of the excess of estrogen is by sweating daily. So it is released through sweat. So daily walks, daily movement will be really beneficial. And what is also super important is to have daily bowel movements, because the excess of estrogen is also going out of the body through the poop. Might sound a little bit ridiculous, but that's how our body works. So make sure to include plenty of fiber into your diet, plenty of water. And try to manage also your insulin levels. So not too many sweets. And if you have some sweets, fruits, try to pair them with some protein and fat as well. So it's ideal to get, for example, an apple with some peanut butter that contains protein and fat at the same time, or with full-fat yogurt, or pear fruits with nuts. Just some suggestions. Make sure your belly is free. And start focusing inwards on your breath. Slow, steady inhales. Let's come out of the pose and bring your legs in front of you. Bring the soles of the feet to touch. You can play with the distance. The closer you have the feet to the pelvis, the harder it's gonna be. So just play with the distance and drop the knees to the side. Then on the inhale, lengthen through your spine. And on the exhale, lower down to fold closer to the feet. It is a passive fold, so we are not trying to push or pull. You can keep your palms facing up just to remind you of this passive fold, not to resist. And this pose should be fairly enjoyable, so if it feels like too much or there is even pain, just place the feet further from your hips to release the intensity. Here we are stretching into the pelvic area, the inner groin, inner thighs, improving healthy circulation in the lower body. Make sure your head, neck and shoulders are relaxed. And if you are not familiar with Yin Yoga, it is a passive style of yoga, so we hold the poses for an extended period of time. It can be somewhere from 2 minutes to 5-6 minutes, depending on the time and the pose. And the focus is on relaxing the muscles, the joints, and let the gravity pull us deeper into the pose without doing much. So it's really deep stretch for the areas of the body, and also it's very restorative and calming. And when you notice your mind starts to wander, just bring your attention back to the breathing. That is the most important part. Deep belly inhales and exhales. Slowly come back up. Be really mindful of your back. We have been here for a while. Use the hands to bring the knees back to center. And now widen your legs, straighten the legs for a straddle. So another forward fold. Make sure that your sit bones are grounded into the mat. Lengthen through your spine and then start hinging forward. And again, it is a passive fold, so no need to go too deep or too far. Just as much as your body lets you go. And we will let the gravity do the rest for us. So do not worry about how far you can go. The benefits of the pose will be the same regardless. You can also stay completely up if you can already feel enough sensation in the hamstrings, in the legs. Maybe you'll notice that with time, your body naturally softens and comes a little bit closer to the ground. Slowly come back up. Again, think of your back. Maybe with the use of hands, bring the knees together and grab your blocks or whatever props you've chosen and place one to the end of the mat and the other one somewhere in the upper middle side. And come back to lie down on your back. And we are placing, you can choose the level that works for you, one block in between the shoulder blades and the other supports your head. So take your time to adjust in this pose to make it comfortable. It can feel a bit weird in the beginning, but with time it should feel really, really good. You can just feel the whole chest area opening. And if there was any feeling of tightness, anxiety, this pose will really make sure that it gets released. So there is space to breathe again. And the heart has more space to give and to receive. Maybe you might not be thinking about it, but the heart and the uterus are connected. So if your heart is shut down, if it's feeling worried, threatened, disappointed, it will affect the uterus as well. So you really want to make sure that your heart is open and receptive to whatever comes to your life. The heart is nourishing the womb, and the womb is giving back to the heart. Tuck your chin to your chest so you can release the block, and you can come all the way up. Use your arm strength to pull you up. You can place the blocks aside, we won't be needing them anymore, and come back to lie down, and we will come into shoulder stand. So if it feels like too much, you can just stay here with the legs up, or you can come to the full version all the way up, supporting your mid back or lower back with your hands, and staying here for a few breaths. Still try to breathe, even though it might be more difficult. And stay as you are, or come into plow pose so you can place the feet behind your head. You can keep them straight or maybe bend them a bit to make it more accessible. And in this pose we are squeezing the internal organs, which makes them rejuvenate, because when we will release the pose, there will be fresh blood and oxygen running into the internal organs, flushing away all the bad things that are not needed anymore. And just cleaning the area, improving also digestive system, and improving circulation. place your hands back onto the back and slowly roll back to lying down. No need to rush. Just pause here for a moment. You can drop the knees against each other for a gentle internal hip rotation. Just to recalibrate the spine. Squeeze the knees against the chest, rock from side to side to massage the lower back. You can do a few circles with the knees in both directions. Just whatever feels good here. Try to listen to your body. You know the best what it wants, how it feels, what feels good, what doesn't. Just follow your intuition. Come back to center, and next we will come with the legs up the wall for the Parita Karani. So you can place the mat to be facing the wall. I will also adjust here. And then come with your hips as close to the wall as possible, and then you can break the legs up to rest against the wall. Create the reversed triangle shape with your hands to create Yoni Mudra, the female mudra, and place it onto your uterus, onto the lower belly. Once more, find the connection with your womb and imagine the uterus being warm, welcoming, receptive and well nourished, ready to accept a baby. Be proud of yourself for taking the time to nourish yourself, and know that you are doing the best you can to support your fertility. Take a deep breath in, feeling the belly expand, and a deep breath out. In and out. In and out. And follow your own rhythm. Slowly release the legs to the ground, roll onto one side, and come to a seated position where we started. Close your eyes once more, bring the hands to touch in front of the heart. And once more, thank yourself for showing up, for taking the time to nourish yourself, your menstrual cycle, and to support your fertility. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. I hope you enjoyed it. You can practice this sequence as often as you would like to. And please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really look forward to practicing with you again soon. I wish you all the best of luck, and see you again. Bye!